Text 1 is Lina. Okay, Lina is introducing her and her family, right? Okay, so let's read together for text 1. Okay, 我叫琳娜，我是法国留学生，我家有4口人，爸爸妈妈哥哥和我。我爸爸是职员，妈妈是老师，哥哥和我都是大学生。Okay, so let's again confirm the meaning of text 1. Okay, so 我叫琳娜 My name is 琳娜。我是法国留学生 I am a French international student. 我家有4口人 There are 4 people in my family. Okay, so 爸爸妈妈哥哥和我 My dad, my mom, my elder brother and I. 我爸爸是职员 My dad is an office worker. 妈妈是老师 My mom is a teacher. 哥哥和我都是大学生 My elder brother and I, we are both college student. So now I think you can make an introduction to your family, okay? So there's a very basic function item, it's called introducing one's family. So the most basic and most common use structure is 我家有 like some 口人 okay 我家有 like a certain number like for example in the text 1 我家有4口人 and then you can introduce who are they, then you can continue to say 爸爸妈妈 right and 哥哥和我 and then you can introduce your father and your mother's job. What do they do? Okay, so what's their like profession? 我爸爸是职员 my dad is an office worker and 我妈妈是老师 and then you can introduce the other family members. So please don't forget to make an exercise introducing your family, okay? So please introduce your family to us. So this is text 1. And in last section, we also learned some very basic structure and word in text 1, right? So for example, this one, we have learned the numeral, right? The numeral, measure word and noun structure, right? So in this structure, the measure word in between is indispensable, okay? So this measure word is necessary. We have to use this one. Otherwise, it will be grammatically wrong. Okay, so don't forget this structure. And also, we learned the 有. The 有 is one of the most important and basic verb in one language, right? In Chinese, it is also very important. So we have to say 有 to have, right? And 有, right? 有. Like have 3 basic meanings in Chinese. The first one, 有 equals to there be structure in English. So this 有 is not means, it doesn't mean possess or to have. This 有 means like to some place exist something. Okay, so it indicates existence. So this 有 like there be, like 我家有4口人. So there are 4 people in my family. Okay, and also 有 means to have, but this have indicates relationship. It's not like ownership. It's not like possess. It indicates the relationship of something. So 我有一个哥哥 I have an elder brother. And this have indicates relationship. Okay, so you are brothers. And also this 有 indicates like possess, which means like ownership or hold. 我有英文书. So this English book belongs to me, right? Okay. And 我没有, don't forget the negative form of 有 is 没有. Okay, we never say 不有. Even though we learned 不 means not, right? 不 is a negative adverb. So we learned not good, we say 不好. Not be, not is, we say 不是, right? 不是. But for the case of 有, we don't have the we have only a 没有 for its negative form. We don't have 不有, so don't forget this. Okay, so this is what we have pay attention to for text 1. Okay, so today we are going to continue with text 2. Let's come back to the textbook. So on page 41, okay, on page 41, text 2. So text 2, we have only 5 new words and expressions. So first, let's quickly go through this part. Listen to the recording and repeat.
课文2生词
己做工作律师医生
Okay, please read these new words with me again, okay? 己做工作律师医生 Okay, so 己 the first one 己 that is a numeral, okay? So which means how many, okay? How many? So this 己 is very useful. It's a interrogative pronoun in Chinese. Okay, so later we'll focus on this 己 again. Okay, so 己 means how many, okay? So next one, okay, next one 做 to do, okay, to do, engage in, to do, engage in, okay? Like 做工作 to do a job, to engage in a work, a job, to engage in a task, 做工作 okay? And we can use this 做 and 工作 to make a question, like what do you do? What's your job? So we can ask 做什么工作 or what job? So we say 什么工作做什么工作 Okay, so let's make a question, like what does your father's job? What does your father's job? So how to say it in Chinese? What's your father's job? Then we can ask 你爸爸做什么工作 Right? 你爸爸做什么工作 Okay, and later the following two nouns are just like two jobs, two kind of profession. The first one is a lawyer, right? A lawyer is 律师 in Chinese. It's 律师 in Chinese. And next one is a doctor. A doctor. In Chinese we say 医生. 医生. Okay, let's make a short dialogue. So what does your father's job? So what does your father do? What does your father's job? And your answer is my father is a lawyer. Then how would you say this question in Chinese? Then we ask 你爸爸做什么工作？我爸爸是律师 right? 我爸爸是律师 he is a lawyer. Okay, now let's come into the text 2. Okay, so text 2 is a conversation between Li Na and Zhu Yun. Between Li Na and Zhu Yun. So first, let's listen to the recording of text 2 and quickly go through and to try to translate by yourself what's the meaning of their conversation. Okay, now let's begin.
课文
你家有几口人？我家有3口人。你家有什么人？我家有爸爸、妈妈和我。你爸爸妈妈做什么工作？我爸爸是律师，妈妈是医生。
Okay, let's read again. Okay, let's read again. Please read after me for text 2. The first line, Li Na says, 你家有几口人？我家有3口人。你家有什么人？我家有爸爸妈妈和我。 你爸爸妈妈做什么工作？我爸爸是律师，妈妈是医生。Okay, so this is a conversation between Lin Na and Zhu Yun. And now let's confirm the meaning of this text too. Okay, so let's translate word by word. Lin Na, 你家有几口人? So you family have how many people? So how many people? And this 口 is a measure word. So we put this 口 before the noun 人. So your family have how many people? Okay, so which means how many people are there in your family? So this is a very common used sentence in Chinese. We use it to ask somebody else's family's condition. How many people are there in your family? 你家有几口人? And Zhu Yun answered, 我家有三口人. How to translate? My family have 3 people, right? My family have 3 people, which means there are 3 people in my family. Okay, so as we learned, this 有 here equals to there be structure in English. So it indicates existence. Okay, so 我家有三口人. So there are 3 people in my family. Okay, next line. 你家有什么人? 你家有什么人? So your family have what people? Which means who are they, right? So who are there in your family? 你家有什么人? And Zhu Yun answered, 我家有爸爸妈妈和我. So literal translation, my family have father, mother, and I. Right? So they are, so which means they are my father, my mother, and I, right? And Lina continue asked, 你爸爸妈妈做什么工作? So your father, your mother do, right? Your father, mother do what job, right? So which means what is your father and mother's job? What does your father and your mother do, right? Okay, and Zhu Yun answered, 我爸爸是律师，妈妈是医生。My father is lawyer, mother is doctor. Okay, so which means my father is a lawyer and my mother is a doctor. Okay, so this is text 2, okay, introducing one's family, right? Asking about somebody else's family conditions. How many people are there in your family? And who are they, right? 你家有什么人? And when you answer, and you can also introduce your father, your mother, or some other family member's job, like 你爸爸妈妈做什么工作? And you can answer with their profession, their career, right? So 我爸爸是律师, answer directly with the career, a lawyer and a doctor. Okay? So in this text, we also have an important note. Okay, so this note is about the interrogative pronoun 几 and 多少. Okay, 几 and 多少, right? So in this text, we have a question. 你家有几口人? 几口人, okay? And also there's a similar interrogative pronoun, which is 多少. 多少. So both 几 and 多少 in Chinese is to ask numbers, which means like how many or how much. How many or how much. Okay? And let's see some examples. So like in the text, 我家有4口人. So there are 4 people in my family, right? 我家有4口人. Okay. So we use this 几 to ask numbers, asking numbers. So if we don't know the underlined part, like this 4, like 4 people, if we don't know there are 4 people, we want to ask how many people are there in your family, right? So we just ask this underlined part, this number. So we can use 几. 你家有几口人? which means how many people are there in your family. 你家有几口人? And also similarly, we can also use this 多少. We can also use this 多少. Yeah, by the way, so as you can see, there is a changing of the tones for the third tone. Okay, sounding of the third tone. So 几 is a third tone syllable, right? And the 口 is another third tone syllable. So as we have learned, according to the sounding rules, the tones changing rules. So if one third tone syllable is followed by another one, it's followed by another third tone syllable. So the first third tone syllable change into the second tone syllable, right? So in this case, 你家有几口人, right? So actually we read as 你家有几口人, right? So which means how many people are there in your family, okay? Okay, next one. 我们班有20个学生. 我们班有20个学生. So there are 20 students in our class, right? So if we don't know the number 20, how would you ask? Anyone knows? Okay, let's make a pause and we will continue with in next session.